Ian.
Hello, Dave.
So tonight's episode's going to be a little bit different, but if you're familiar with the podcast, you're no stranger to these kinds of shows every now and then, right?
Yeah. And a surprise to no one, we got things to talk about. We got things to process. We got things to be angry about. So we're going to do that.
Yeah. We appreciate everybody listening. We want to start off the hop by telling everybody that we love you. And we really want you to take care of each other and take care of yourselves. And right.
And I will also say that I have one quick car thing at the end that we'll talk about. So either fast forward to there or don't or whatever. So
yeah. So stuff's been tough.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, things have been really bad, and a lot of us are in really bad mental places. Right?
Yeah. So for everybody, if you're catching up with the show, it is, and this is you're listening to this months in the future. This is May 25th, 2022 that we're recording this, and I'll start off by just saying that today was pretty rough drop off at school. That whole process was not too much fun today. I just had to get him out the door. Jenny actually took him, and she said you could tell that the teachers were in rough shape, the parents were just in rough shape. Like, it was not a good scene. And, it's hard to even know what to say because it's just so exhausting and frustrating and angering and all that. Yeah.
There's so much of it that is tangible and so much of it that is nebulous. It's such a weird, awful mix of anger and grief and fear and everything. It's just, I don't know. It's this all-encompassing sphere, right? And I thought about you a lot today, Ian. And I thouut about you and Jenny, and what your life is like as parents, and my stepkids and their families and stuff, and I can't know the full gravity of the situation, to know exactly what it's like to be a parent and to have to deal with this kind of stuff. And I respect you, and it's really hard. And I've been thinking about you,
Thanks. Yeah. Jenny and I were actually talking about this earlier, that, the last, the Sandy Hook, when that happened, that was about 10 years ago. And we remember where we were when it happened. We were on vacation together. We were in Chicago when it happened. And, it was different because it was before we had kids. It was, it was a few years before we had kids, and it did hit a little differently. And part of that is that we have kids that, we know the age that these kids were, are basically the same age as Nico. But also it's the fact that it's again, that we're still dealing with the same bullshit, and we still have to sit through fucking Ted Cruz talking about goddamn doors. The only good thing about that piece of it, as absolutely infuriating as that shit is, because it's ridiculous and asinine, and the absurdity of it is insulting, right? It's so absurd to pitch that as a cure-all for whatever the hell this is that we're dealing with. That it's infuriating, but at the same time, I do feel like my one glimmer of hope in that is that it's to me, it's the only explanation for it, for trotting out, for hauling yourself in front of cameras to talk about doors, is that you know that you know on some level that you've lost the argument, right? That they're stupid arguments about good guys with guns, or laws don't stop people, or whatever, is that they know that those arguments are no longer effective and they're looking for something else. And this is what they have left, and I have to hope that means that some people are coming to their senses, maybe, or they know that it's a losing battle. I don't know. That's what I've been telling myself this afternoon.
No, yeah. I think that one of the hardest things to process about everything that's happened is like you mentioned, is the again piece, right? Is that, like, I think that when we were going through the Trump presidency, like, in our minds, oftentimes we would kind of get caught up in this losing game where we would think, oh, like, he's done something dumb enough that he's finally going to lose, like, his base, right? Like, oh, this is going to be the thing, this next thing. Oh, this call with Ukraine. Oh, this, this next thing, right?
The "We Got 'Em" banner that John Oliver did.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Right. Like that there is this threshold, like, or this, like, watermark that we can somehow cross where, like, people come around to, like, our point of view. Right. Mm-hmm. And it's a losing game to think that you're ever going to get to that point. Right. Because you
right.
don't. Right. And like you said, like, if people have gone from, like, shit weasels like Ted Cruz saying things like, like, good guys with guns, all the way down to, like, doors and shit. Right. Like, all that stuff, right? Like, there's just going to be, like, just another absurd thing right after that, right? Mm-hmm. And the hope is that someday we, like, through these, like, iterative things that, like, incrementally enough people have gotten tired of it, right? Yeah. There's not going to be a big moment where people are like, everyone's like, fuck this guy, right? Like, I don't know. That's been the hardest thing for me to process, is the realization that like that there's not going to be a snap moment, Yeah.
Because things are dumb and only getting dumber.
Only getting dumber.
Which is, I mean, the timeline this time from we need armed security guards to we need armed teachers to we need fewer doors in schools. It's just mind-bogglingly stupid. Right. I mean, it was like 6 hours. I mean, it was this morning they were talking about security guards, and by this afternoon they're talking about reducing the number of doors on all the schools in the country. And I would just as a fun thought exercise, how much do we think it would be to retrofit every school building in the country to fit the fucking Supermax design that Ted Cruz has in his head? Right. Versus how much would it cost to buy back, I don't know, all of the semi-automatic rifles in the country? Exactly. Like, which of these two would be better bang for your buck? It's insane. Right. It's just but the absurdity at this stage is the point of that, right? It's right. It's just about just stirring up enough shit that everyone's distracted until it goes away, and then we just do it again. Right. And we'll be in this exact same place sometime in the future, right? Yeah. Like, and go ahead. Well, I know people that when they were kids, they were at Columbine when the shooting happened. Right? They now have kids that they don't want to send to school. Yeah. Right? I was in high school when that happened, and I very distinctly remember that moment, and I remember... You remember exactly where you were, don't you? Yeah, because I remember we went on lockdown afterwards. We were on I don't know if people who were too young or or were old enough that they weren't in high school. There's a certain range there that, at least where we were, there were so many like copycat like bomb threats and things like that, and nobody knew how to deal with any of it. I mean, we still don't know how to deal with it, but there wasn't even a protocol, and I feel like it's not better now, but it's different. It's different. There's an action plan, and that action plan is fucking stupid, but at least there's like a structure to it, and kids are really good at recognizing when there's not structure. That you can identify that because it's a sign of weakness and you go for it.
They exploit it.
Yeah, and that's what it was. It was chaos in high schools across the country for weeks after that.
Yeah,
and we're just still in it.
Yeah,
and never stop.
Right.
And our reaction to things is always, it's not worse than this, because this is the worst thing. But like, our reaction to some dude trying to light his shoes on fire, our reaction to 9/11, our reaction to everything is always fucking wrong-headed and ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's insane. And I have my whole soapbox thing of like, we've just have a whole group of people who decided like civilization is just a fucking overrated.
Yeah.
And they're done with it. And this is all part of it, right? Like,
they're just going to get theirs and fuck off into the night, right?
Right, but they're being bad at it,
Right.
It's I feel like I'm taking crazy pills. Like, it's worse for you, Mr. or Mrs. AR-15 owner, that a bunch of innocent children were killed, than it is if someone comes and takes your hobby away.
Right.
Like the like cost benefit analysis is just off the charts stupid, right? Like, it's clearly a worse outcome for you if children are dying unnecessarily than if you can't go pew pew on the weekends. Like,
and be clear, give up a tiny portion of your hobby, right?
Yes. I mean, the most stringent thing that anyone is proposing, which I'm in favor of, is banning semi-automatic long guns. Mm-hmm. Even semi-automatic long guns with removable magazines, I'd be happy with.
Right.
That's one of the other thing that I was telling Jenny. It's like, it drives me crazy that like these are all fucking children themselves that are doing this.
Yeah.
With no training.
Mm-hmm.
And the idea that like all you need is $400. Yeah. And that's all the qualification you need to snuff out a dozen lives in a minute. It's absolutely crazy that that's what we're doing. Like, if you walk into a grocery store or a school or any place that's crowded with a gun, the only thing that should happen is maybe you get one shot off and then you get your ass kicked.
Right.
That's what's supposed to happen.
Right.
And I don't know. We've covered all this before again, but
doesn't mean we're not going to talk about it again. Doesn't mean we're not going to have to mentally deal with it, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's the whole thing, right? Because like it's just really tough for us to talk about cars vroom vroom, when we're in this headspace and
Well, and again, it goes our inability to do things about problems is, I don't remember what horrific thing we were talking about last time we made this point, but the same thing that keeps us from clearly defining a problem and then finding a
Right.
solution to it is the same thing that's going to keep us from, you know, electrifying the car fleet that we need and funding mass transit and doing the things that are necessary to save the hobby that we love.
Right. Right.
That's all the same shit as what if we had fewer doors,
Right. Right. Right.
you know?
Yeah. The only thing that stops a bad guy with a gun is a good guy with a gun.
Mm-hmm.
No, actually, like, you know, red flag laws and background checks and all kinds of other shit stop a person with a gun
Or just,
from even
you know,
getting one in the first place.
or just, you know, having fewer of them. would
Yeah,
be
exactly.
A
Right?
start.
Yeah, not having a fucking Black Friday sale on them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. It's absolutely crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Prolonged sigh while Ian drinks his whiskey and I drink my peppermint tea.
comfort liquids all around.
We all have our coping mechanisms, right? My crippling mint tea addiction and my crippling Ricola and peppermint tea addiction. Yeah.
I honestly, I don't have much else to say about it. I think,
Yeah.
I mean, I've talked about the whole, like, I don't know. I've pitched my regulatory scheme before in this show.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
But I mean, I think right now I'm annoyed at just the bad faith motherfuckers out there.
Yes.
You know.
Yep.
And I just like, how do you do that less than 24 hours after that? You know, how do you haul yourself up, haul your husk of a soulless body in front
Right.
of TV cameras and talk about fucking doors?
Because it's Costanza. Because it's not a lie if they believe it.
Right.
Like they believe this shit. That's the thing.
Yeah.
they believe
I'm not so
it.
sure.
I think that this is one of those
I
things
think they
where, like,
believe. I think they believe that it's just a smoke bomb. You know, that's what they just got to get through it. They got to get through today, and that's as far as they've thought about it.
I think that you're completely right that there's a portion of folks like that, but then I think that there's some that are just bedded in and like this is truly what they believe, that they're gonna parrot what they saw on Fox News. They're gonna parrot this stuff because that's the stuff that fits into the structure, right?
Totally.
Yeah.
Because I mean,
Yeah.
at this point, it's a pretty rickety structure.
Yeah.
It's a pretty rickety
Right.
fucking
And
mental
the more
gymnastic
rickety
structure.
it gets, the more people double down on that shit.
Absolutely, because if it breaks, then they got nothing.
A toothpick flies off, and then they have nothing, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Again, all things we've talked about before.
Yeah. Yeah.
We'll talk about again.
Let me just play a recording from my most recent therapy session.
Right.
Yeah. Let's bring in Diane. Yeah. Fuck. Yeah. I don't know. I'm very thankful for you and for your friendship, Ian. I'm very
as well,
thankful.
Dave.
I'm very thankful for how you and Jenny are raising your kids. I'm very thankful for the ideals and the political beliefs that you have, you know. And I'm very thankful for the positive change that you've made in my life. And yeah, you know, I appreciate you, buddy.
Thanks, Dave. I mean, same. Yeah, and I know that. I mean, I think without you, I would definitely not have this outlet. So, I appreciate that.
And I wouldn't have it without you either, you know.
Mm-hmm.
That's for sure. You
Yeah.
know? Yeah. 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 All right, we've got a caller on line 7. Yeah, just wanted to say, yeah.
You've won concert tickets to the State Fair to see Kiss.
Yeah.
All right. Shit's horrific. Things
Yeah.
are awful.
Yeah. Yeah.
I actually saw something the other day that was sad on the street.
Okay.
But I walked away from it with just a thing popped in my head that was fun and hopeful. So I'm gonna just tell that story.
Sure. Yeah. Do you have any pictures or anything? Do I need to share a browser?
I specifically did not take a picture of this. I pulled out my phone and was going to take a picture, and I decided against it.
Pump the brakes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I saw in my neighborhood there was a Saab 97X.
Oh yeah, the Trailblazer. Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
It had collapsed rear suspension and a parking ticket.
Oh man. Yeah.
And I didn't want to. I don't know. I something stopped me from taking the picture. It was
I get that.
Piling on. Felt like piling on. But the thing that popped in my head was that you and I could form. You've talked before about you dropping from the ceiling and knocking the vanity plate application out of someone's hand.
Yep.
We would start a service where parking enforcement would call us.
Okay.
And we would have a system of multipliers to apply to whatever ticket.
I like where this is headed.
Whatever ticket was about to be given.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah. Like a golf handicap or something like that, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
Right. So we get the call.
Curve.
Yeah. We get the call.
Okay.
Hey, I've got a Saab here already. Yeah. We're going. It's going to be the multiplier is going to be less than 1 for sure.
Yeah.
We got a Saab here already. Down.
Yep.
97X broken suspension. Ooh boy.
Yeah. We're like 50%. Yeah.
Yeah. This ticket's gonna cap out at like $5, right?
Right.
There's not gonna be. This person clearly has enough. Problems.
Right. Can you issue a finger wag and move on?
Can we give them money? Can we put $5 on their windshield?
Right.
Now, you might be thinking, oh, but Dave and Ian, my municipality depends on this income stream to provide services to the rest of us. Well, don't worry, straw man, because it goes the other direction, right?
Right.
I want you to picture this. A wrapped M4.
Okay.
Right? Garish wrap. And it had one of those paid cash license plates in the windshields.
Yes.
The multiplier on that, and it's like parked in a handicap spot, right?
Yes.
Multiplier on that's like 1,000. We're talking multiple orders of magnitude.
Right.
And we're going to use that to subsidize all the other people.
Yeah. I like this. You don't need to sell the product for 25 cents and sell millions of them. You just need to sell one product at like $2.5 million.
Yep.
I like this. No, this is good because I think that I've heard people talk on podcasts before and like it's not going to seem like it comes from like where you would think, but Scott Aukerman, the guy that does like Comedy Bang Bang and like all that whole like Earwolf and all that stuff, right? He actually has a very strong opinion about how like small moving violations and parking tickets and stuff like that are systemically oppress lower income and folks like that, right? People that that already bear a pretty hard brunt of society that they're trying to get through with what they can, right? The system is weighted against them, and this is absolutely one thing that does not help, right?
Yep.
Talked about that in the middle of a podcast. I can't remember which one, but it like a lot of stuff clicked into place when he said that, right? Because you're right. There is like this unfortunate like equality in like a parked car is a parked car is a parked car is a parked car, right?
Right.
As automotive enthusiasts, as human beings, we know that that's not true. Right?
Yeah.
We absolutely know that, right?
Yeah.
Right.
No, you're totally right. And I mean, this was supposed to be our palate cleanser, but It does. I mean, it connects back to our other topic where we just have, fucked up priorities. And,
Right.
We don't fund the things we're supposed to fund properly, and instead we fund catch-alls like jails and police, right? Like,
Right.
and then those things become income streams because we have to pay for those services, and they're actually more expensive than the prevention that we could be doing, like preschool and all that shit. Like,
Right.
none of this is news to anybody, by the way. Like, this is shit we know.
Right.
We just don't do it.
Right. We don't like to think about it, and we don't do it.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. And so, yeah, it would be better if we didn't give people $100 parking tickets for dumb reasons, But,
Yeah. Because their car happened to break down there, right?
Mm-hmm.
They have literally, the reason no one was parked there was because, the reason the spot was open was because somebody couldn't park there, and that was where they had to park, right?
Probably, or they made a mistake, whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
That's fine
or they
too.
made a mistake. Right, exactly. Right? Yeah.
Yeah, it's all dumb. But I think Dave and Ian parking enforcement mitigators Inc. Is a solid business idea. We just get a little taste. We get our beaks wet. It's fine. We get a little taste, but that's
the reward isn't in doing a good job.
No, come on. Where are we? This is America, Dave.
We are going to take the paid cash guy's money. We're going to take his money. We're not going to take the 92X person's
100%.
money. Right.
Definitely not.
Right.
But,
Yeah.
We will end up at some point having to spend, obviously, millions and millions of dollars on lobbying Congress to keep our jobs safe. Because that's what we do. That's what we do here.
Right.
And that's how this all works.
That's the whole chain, right? Yeah.
And then eventually Ted Cruz is going to come out and be like, we should have fewer alleys.
Right.
And then, maybe we wouldn't need the parking enforcement mitigators.
Right.
Just close off those alleys. Look at all these alleys we got out here. Look at all these side streets. We got side streets. People are parking wherever.
Right.
And so we have no choice but to have parking enforcement mitigators that we pay millions and millions of dollars to. And then they in turn spend hundreds of thousands of dollars in lobbying every year and finance my campaign. That's how it all works, you see.
I do like that. I'm picturing us as like an extension of the police. Like, I'm dressed like Dangle from Reno 911. Right? Yeah. I'm like equal parts Dangle and Boyle from Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Right? And and our squad car is a Lamborghini Urus.
Yeah, and I pretend that I basically carry myself like I'm a really grumpy captain, and then and everyone has to be like, you're an officer, right? Like, you're not even a sergeant. Like,
you can't tell anyone what to do.
Yeah.
Why'd you ask me for my badge and my gun?
Yeah, you're out of control, Lieutenant. I outrank you, right?
You're a contractor. Right? Yeah. I do like this idea. Because I think it solves a lot of issues that we face as a society. First of all, you and I not having a Lamborghini Urus, right? Second,
boom.
Like we said, tackling a systemic oppression of individuals that have far greater needs in their lives, right? Yeah. Right.
And again, budget neutral.
Right.
Aside from
it's like that tweet that goes around every now and then that's really that some moron was just like, you give a rich person $600 and blah blah blah, they invested blah blah blah. You give a poor person $600 and it disappears, and it's like, you fucking moron. If you give somebody $600 that has all of their needs met already, what the fuck else are they going to do with it, right? Like, like I don't know. I like your idea, Ian.
Yeah.
I like it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, it's far from the worst idea that's been floated today.
Right.
Ted.
Yeah. Yeah. So okay. So let's play this out. All right.
All right.
Let's role
Okay.
play. Just kidding. My safe word is Tacoma. No. Okay. So let's play this out. What kind of vehicle would we come across where it's just a straight one? Right. The multiplier's one. Right.
Yeah, I think honestly, I think a lot of things would be that, right? Like, I don't know. I would say, let's say what's the big Toyota sedan? The
Avalon.
Avalon, Toyota Avalon, overstayed its welcome at the parking meter.
Yeah.
One,
Right.
just a one.
Right.
They're
Just
old enough. They're doing fine.
Yep. Standard fine. Right.
Standard fine.
Right.
They're good. They're good.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Let's see here. Let's go through some cars of the past. Let's say it was remember the one Nick Lindy sent us forever ago that I also saw like a week later? It was the Cobalt up badged as like a Camaro.
Oh yeah.
Remember that? That, but it's parked in the handicap spot of a children's hospital.
That's difficult.
These are the kinds of things we're going to need to solve.
Yeah. Honestly, I feel like any handicap spot is an automatic 2 to me.
Okay.
Handicap spot violations, I go immediately to a 2.
Sure.
Unless we think it's plausible that they just forgot their placard or something. But we'll take that on appeal.
There you go.
Yeah.
Right.
You forgot your placard, we'll knock it down to 0. Car stanza handicap, I'm going to say 2.5. 2.5 is my gut. What about you?
I think that's good. I think that's a fair ruling.
Okay.
Yeah, you're right.
All
Right? Okay, you give me one.
Okay. All right. Let's go with okay. Maserati Quattroporte.
Okay.
Okay, after each piece of information, tell me your number.
Okay. All right, Maserati Quattroporte 3.
3.
Actually, 5. I'll say 5 multiplier.
5. Okay. Maserati Quattroporte 5. It's a 2002 Maserati Quattroporte. It is street sweeping violation. Temp tags.
I knew you were going to come at me with the temp tags. I knew it. Street sweeping violation.
Temp tags.
I think, hear me out. I think 1.5 ish. Okay. Because this to me seems like somebody that needs to learn a lesson.
I think they've already learned a lesson.
I don't know if it's fully baked in yet. Right?
Okay.
Yeah. That's it. Because like, if it was a Maserati Quattroporte, and it was. Let
me add one more piece of information.
Okay.
2 car seats in the back.
Okay.
So you're at a 1.5 now.
Oh man. Yeah, we're going half.
Half. Okay.
0.5 right. Because they need to learn a lesson, right? But it can't put them back. Like it can't really hit them hard. But I mean, like you can't just give everyone a warning at some point,
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Now, I did forget to mention that there was a sticker on the back that said, "I bought this car with NFT money."
75. Yeah, it has a Crypto Bro wrap, a board yacht club or whatever the fuck it is wrap.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. 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 You follow that account, Crypto Bros taking L's.
I've seen it. I don't follow it, but I've seen it. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a casual search for me, like the right wing copium accounts and stuff like that. Not stuff I want to see on my feed all the time, but when I need to see a Crypto Bro taking an L, I pull it up.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is good. This is good.
Yeah.
I like this, Ian. I like this because
thank you.
I do think that like you have a really valid point in that like sometimes you don't want to take a picture of something because you feel bad about it, right? You know? Yeah. Yeah. And I don't know, we're sensitive car people, And for some people they don't even have that, They don't even have a car. So, yeah.
Well, Dave, world weary sigh.
Yeah. Yeah.
What do you think? We did whatever this was.
We still talked about cars.
We did.
They can't kick us off of iTunes yet.
No.
That's
true. That's true.
No.
They'll let anybody have a podcast. Proof.
Yep. Yeah. Yep.
What should you do, Mr. Dave? If you, I think enjoy is a strong word. Enjoy is a strong word. If you tolerated this, what should you do?
Yeah. The thing is, like, I think, like, yeah, sure, like, subscribe to YouTube, send us vanity plates, do all that stuff, 720-515-1391, yeah. But the thing that I want people to take away is that, our thoughts are with you and that we're thinking about you and, yeah, we're with you and, we don't have any answers and we're in it together, but
yeah, well said.
Yeah.
We love you, everybody. Goodbye.